Hello. What's going on? Live chat from Top Chat. And how's my hair? Happy Tuesday, you guys. It's the last day of March, so we're almost to the April Fool. OMG. And such a fool we have. Do we not? I'm not talking about me, of course. I'm talking about the dumpster fire. He called himself the Trumpster. That was like his own little nickname for himself. Because, don't you have a nickname for yourself when you talk about yourself in the third person? Which I'm sure we all do that all the time, right? Totally normal. Totally not weird at all. Okay. So I am just texting the handful of people that I know of that like to be texted when I come on live. And if you would like to be added to my list, you can email me at JusticeAtooZ at gmail.com, I think. And, send me your digits and then I can text you when I'm coming on live and then you'll have my digits too. So I'm happy to do that for anyone who's interested that's not a troll. And how do I know if you're a troll? I just guess. I just make an educated guess, I mean, it is what it is. I think most of my viewers are completely genuine, but, live and learn, right? Okay, I think that's all that I need to do. It's been a minute since I've had a live stream and I miss you guys like crazy. It's been, I think, almost an entire week. Probably like Thursday was the last time I did one. My family was on spring break, so it's just been a blur. Plus, we had a couple of family birthdays and a lot of family visits, and it's just been a miracle that I've even survived. I'm kind of a hermit, in case you guys haven't figured that out. I mean, by my nature, in my DNA, I'm a hermit. I've worked my whole life to like push against that and, just operate in a comfort zone of being very social. I got so good at it that nobody even knew that I was an introvert. And then it got to a point where people wouldn't even believe me when I told them that I was an introvert. They'd be like, "You? No way." And then COVID happened. Hey, Annabise, what's up with you, girlfriend? How are you? You're probably the exact same because you and I are like twins in every way, shape, and form, right? COVID happened and I completely rediscovered my inner introvert and I loved it. I couldn't believe how much I enjoyed staying home for months on end. I'm not even kidding you. Granted, I'd stayed outside and gardened like 24/7, but still, I loved the whole like social restrictions and all that. I loved it. I loved going to the grocery store with a mask on, and so I would add like a hat and sunglasses, and people would still recognize me, and I'd be like, "Don't," because I think we all learned how to recognize each other with the COVID masks, right? Not like I'm famous or anything. Like, oh no, people recognize me. No, but I love to be on the down low. Like when you live in a big city, you get that anonymity that I love. And then when you live in a smaller community, every time you go to the grocery store, you run into somebody who wants to catch up for 20 minutes or something. And like, you're like, I was just running in to buy milk and now my whole afternoon is shot. I mean, not to be antisocial, but I mean, we've all been there, right? So Anna B says, I'm driving right now, but listening. I am an introvert. See, darling, I knew it. It's so funny. But did you spend much of your life fighting against it and overcoming it and then falling back into it like I just described? I've said this so many times, you guys probably get sick of it. If that's my biggest problem, I'm one lucky SOB. But really, one of my biggest problems right now is these braces. They are driving me mad. Even though they're so much less painful than they were, it's still so annoying. It's like I have this giant, I don't know, like a big wire thing in my mouth, like a set of braces. It's just bizarre. I can't even describe it. I've never had anything like that before. And it's just super annoying. So it's a lot less painful than it was, but it's still just as annoying. And it helps me slide into my introvertness, because then like I just don't talk, like not even to my family. I'm just like a lot more silent, because talking is annoying because of the metal. And then I want to come on live, but then I'm like, oh, but then I'd have to talk with this mouth full of metal, and it's such a pain in the butt. So what to do? Anyway, we're here, so let's just work on it. Definitely, LOL. So yeah, sweetheart, I don't want you commenting while you're driving. I love your comments, but I know how that is. And yeah, it's crazy. So I went to the courthouse yesterday in Troy, Ohio, the Miami County Courthouse, for the hearing for Ashley Smith Flynn, Caleb Flynn, the dad who allegedly took his wife out with a firearm 2 days after Valentine's Day. Allegedly. I mean, he's been arrested. He was arrested 3 days later on the 19th of February. His two children, his two little girls, I think 9 and 11, were in the house when he did this. People don't talk about the whole thing about how the girls were sleeping and how squirrely he was about not checking on the girls and not responding when the dispatcher kept asking him how the girls were, and please check on the girls, and damn it, check on the girls, and just him being really bizarrely shifty about it. So there's been a lot of talk and a lot of silence about why that would be. And I think it's very apparent that he may have provided them assistance in staying asleep through a lot of noise, not just a couple of giant bangs. I don't know if he used a silencer. There's been nothing said about a silencer. And there's also been nothing said about neighbors hearing. So I don't know, maybe he did. And that's been on the down low too. Everything on this case has been on the down low. They've tried to get a gag order. So I went to the hearing yesterday. I didn't actually go in the hearing, but nothing really happened. They got a continuance until next week. But I did get interviewed by the local news outside the courthouse, and I watched the news for hours last night hoping to see the clip, and I didn't see it. Maybe they didn't use it, but I didn't watch the 11 o'clock news. So nobody has like texted me or called me and said, hey, I saw you on the news. So they might not have used it. There was another YouTube content creator there too, and it was fun running into her. We've never met. We've emailed a couple of times, and she mentioned me on her channel, so I'll go ahead and mention her by name on my channel. And it's titanium built, and so we went out and grabbed coffee, and we both got there at the exact same time, like we were riding in the elevator together, and I didn't know that she would recognize me, but we both recognized each other like simultaneously. It was fun. It was definitely a cool experience, and I'm hoping she might be able to teach me some skills, just like with the whole putting stuff on the screen, like documents and videos and stuff like that. Because, I've never done it. I'm just goofy. And I know I could watch a YouTube video to figure out how to do it. Or I could ask my damn kids or my husband to teach me how to do it. But they're such pains in the butts. I'd rather just suffer through not knowing. So yeah, it was cool. It was cool being interviewed on the news. I didn't have anything planned out, although I was kind of hoping that might happen. And I got the newscaster's business card, so we'll probably see him again at the next hearing. But guess what, Annabes? They scheduled the trial. I don't know if it was already scheduled or if they scheduled it yesterday, but it's scheduled for less than a month from now. The trial is scheduled for April 28th. That's not to say that it's going to happen on the 28th. I mean, I think that they're trying to push, I think that the defense and the prosecution is trying to push really hard to just get this thing over and done with as fast as possible and to keep a tight lid on everything. And honestly, my opinion is that shameful that, this is domestic violence, and keeping silent about it is exactly what our culture has done wrong for far too long. So whatever it is that did or didn't happen, I think it needs to be aired out. The public has a right to know this man allegedly might be a menace to society. And, a wolf in sheep's clothing. But let me do my stuff. Everything I say is simply my opinion for the sake of hoping to start a conversation, open up a discussion, learn something, be educational. All of my videos are made for the tube of you and me, and it's an infotainment platform. And if you can't tell, I'm just really excited to be back because it's been like 5 freaking days. It feels like 1,000 years. And make sure you're still subscribed, share a video of mine if somebody you know of might enjoy this weird, goofy channel. We're friendly over here, right? It's a warm, fuzzy place for the most part. Turn on your notification bell to ring a ding ding. And where's that creepy arse thumb? Hit your like button. So there's my squirrel. There's my little silly dog that looks like Mookie. Mookie loves getting a hold of that dog. And Cheeseball loves getting a hold of the squirrel. So I have to keep them away from those things. And wow, that's fast. Yeah, the trial, it's super fast. So it's scheduled for 4 weeks from tomorrow, I think, because tomorrow's the 1st of April. And I think it's the 28th of April. I put it in my calendar. And mid-April is a hearing for the Tepe case in Columbus. Michael McKee, that that very similar case, but ex-husband who used a firearm and multiple shots in each of Mo Tepe and Spencer Tepe in their bedrooms with their 2 children in the room next door. And they had 1 dog, I think. The Tepes had 1 dog. I think that the Flynn's had 2 dogs. And it was Tanya from Titanium Belt that pointed out yesterday that they had the same breed of dog. If she's correct, like, I don't really remember the breed of dog that the Tepes had. Labradoodle, maybe. Whichever, she thinks that it's the same breed, and I think she might be right. But it's just odd that, there was the 2 dogs at the Flynn's house, the 1 dog at the Tepe's house, both with the 2 children right there on site, not wounded, thank goodness. I mean, hearts and souls and psyches wounded immensely, but physically not injured. And again, it's so hard to separate out psychological and physiological. I mean, physiologically they are wounded, but you know what I mean. They weren't physically injured by the perpetrator, basically. But again, the perpetrator broke their hearts and put, I'm talking in circles. Anyway, physically not attacked. How about that? They weren't physically attacked by the perps, but their lives were destroyed by the perps, the two children. So the two daughters in the Flynn case and the son and the daughter in the Tepe case. So, again, just to reiterate, Mike McKee, the ex husband of Maureen Tepe, or no, Monique Tepe, sorry, she goes by Mo Tepe, he should be having a hearing mid-month. And then we also have Leslie Wexner with a deposition scheduled for mid-April. And that's for his shenanigans with OSU, not for his shenanigans with the e-files, the Trumpstein files. That deposition already happened, but I think they need to do another one on him, and I hope that they do. Also, Pamela Bondi, the Attorney General, is scheduled for deposition on or around April 16th. Here, let me let the little scratchy dog in real quick. Hey, scratchy doggies, come on in, babies. We got 2 out of 3. We got Mookie and Coco. Hi, girls. Yes. Okay, what's Anna B saying? From me to you, Tarot is here. Hello, hello, my dear. My brother is Friday. Oh, your birthday is Friday. Your brother is Friday. Happy birthday in advance, Anna B's. So that would be like the 3rd. Is that right? Because tomorrow's Wednesday the 1st. Yeah. And from me to you, Tarot says, hello, sorry I'm late. Oh, you're right on time. Has anyone been staying up with the Nancy Guthrie case? Some. From me to you, Tarot. I have such strong feelings about that case. It's hard for me to consume information about it that I think is just bullshit. And I think so much of that case is just bullshit. So the correct answer is probably no, that I haven't really been keeping up with it, but I've been keeping an eye on it, basically. But when it looks like bullshit, I look away. Just look away from the bullshit. There's so much going on right now with true crime and with politics, and so much of it is pure bullshit. I mean, our freaking Trumpster fire president has us on a freaking roller coaster ride. That man is tripolar. No offense to anybody who's suffering from a bipolar disorder, as many people are. No offense at all, but man, the Trumpster fire is about as tripolar as you can get. Up and down and all around. He is just nuts. And Lindsey Graham hanging out in Disney World with a freaking pink bubble blow toy by himself at Disney World by himself, which is so pathetic. And anybody needs a vacation, but the guy is a freaking warmonger. He's an Israel lover, shameless Israel lover, obviously just, in my opinion, taking piles of cash from Israel and just absolutely shameless about it. So he's the source of a lot of people suffering right now. And then he's literally playing with toys by himself at Disneyland or Disney World. I'm not even sure which one. Disgusting. What a weirdo. Happy birthday, Anna Bees. I believe it was all staged. You believe that the Nancy Guthrie was all staged? By whom? By who do you think? For me to Tarot. I mean, I think it was staged in a sense, but I mean, I'll just come straight out and say it. I think that the president orchestrated it. I think it was retaliation, retribution, and revenge against Savannah Guthrie for all of her interviews with Virginia Giuffre and all the other Trumpstein survivors. as well as that thing that she did on December 9th of 2025, where she had that, she facilitated a debate between the two governors, Shapiro and Cox, at the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. And the topic was political violence. And then that was December 9th. And then December 16th was when she took her medical leave for the polyp that she had on her vocal cord. And then she'd only been back at work for like 4 or 5 days when then her mother went missing that weekend. And her mother went missing the day after the 3 million Trumpstein files were dropped on January 30th. Then Nancy Guthrie goes missing on the 31st. Timing is everything. And I think that they gave themselves away with the timing of that. That's my opinion. Anyway, I'm really curious to know yours too. What is that cool little thing? It looks like an X and an A. I've never seen that symbol. How did you do that? Anna Bees did it, and then Tarot did it. What is that, you guys? That's so mysterious. Yes, very weird. Yes, Tarot says, Billy, woo, hey girl. Hey y'all, by the way, fireballs. What fireballs? Should I check it out? That makes a lot of sense about Trump. Yeah. I mean, I try to come straight out and say it because I don't want to confuse people by dilly-dallying around, and I'm allowed to have an opinion, and it couldn't be more obvious to me. And it's devastating. And now Savannah is going public with her interviews saying that her brother, who I think was military, thought immediately their mother was targeted because of Savannah and her career. And that's exactly what I think. And I think Savannah has known it all along. I do. I think Savannah has known who the culprit was. I believe that she believes it's the same thing that I believe. Am I talking in circles? I'll try not to. Yes, for me to you, Turo. I agree with you. Anna B says, fireballs in our skies. Again, Billy, are you kidding me? Remember when there were all those like drones in Jersey? Was that right around like the election or inauguration? I think it was around the election. I think it's our own government that we can't trust. My goodness. Because if it wasn't our government, like let's say if it was, Daddy Vladdy's government, our government should be able to protect us from that. Unless they are in on it. I remember around the same time as the drones, and they were giant drones. I want to say like a dozen of them that were in Jersey, maybe around the time of the election. Wasn't that around the same time as the, what was it, like a red hot air balloon or something in Montana? That it was from China. Am I remembering this right? You guys remember, right? That whole thing. I think that's why she contacted Mark Kelly. From me to you, Taro, that's exactly what I think. Such a good point to bring up, that when Savannah Guthrie's brother or sister, I think it was her sister, that called her to tell her that her mom was missing, she immediately called Mark Kelly. She didn't call the police or the sheriff. She called Mark Kelly. And then he called the resources to call. And I believe that too. I'm totally on board with you. The other person I'm really suspicious of in that case is the sheriff. I've always gotten the feeling from that sheriff whatever the heck his name is, like Chris somebody. It's been a while. I want to say Chris Taus. That's not it. Um, you guys remember? Where's my phone? But I've always gotten the feeling, like in the Kylie Rodney case with the sheriff and that, with Wayne Wu, Placer County Sheriff. Let's see, the sheriff of Tucson. Chris Nanos. I said Taos. I was very close. Just an N instead of a T. Chris Nanos. From the get-go, I've always thought that he was in on it. He pulled that buffoon card right up front, and he's had a lot of experience, like 25 years or more, and a lot of high-profile experience. In fact, he worked on the case with Mark Kelly's wife, Kathy Gifford, if I'm getting her name right, when she was shot in the face in that parking lot like 20 years ago. And weren't there other people that were killed during that event? Let's see. I think it's Kathy Gifford, right? No. I'm getting it wrong. Let's see. Let me do Mark Kelly. Mark Kelly's wife. Gabby Gifford. Sorry about that. So when Gabrielle Gifford was injured, that was January 8th of 2011. She was a congresswoman at the time. She was shot in the head during a constituent meeting in Tucson, Arizona. I thought it was in a parking lot. Maybe it was outside or something. She survived the assassination attempt, but suffered a severe traumatic brain injury, resulting in aphasia and partial paralysis. Giffords underwent extensive rehabilitation, resigned from Congress to focus on recovery, and became a prominent gun safety advocate. So when Gabby Giffords was shot, weren't other people shot too, or just her? Gabby Giffords shooting, others injured. $18 others were shot. Holy crap. I did not realize it was that huge. So 19 people. Let me read you this from Wikipedia real quick, but I don't want to lose track of my chat. So let me stay caught up. Still thinking immediate family is involved, aka Tommaso, but I could be wrong. Well, and I know that a lot of people think that, Billy, about Tommaso, and I've always thought that if he was, that it was because he was like MK Ultra or something like that, that he basically was being forced to. But I don't know. Billy, that is my guess. Family. Actually, fireballs, like meteor storms, like a bunch of shooting stars, but in daytime and nighttime. I know, Billy, there was one like a couple of weeks ago. I think that we talked about it in one of the lives near Cleveland. And yeah, there's been several. It's bizarre. Yeah, it was Tommaso Annie, in my humble opinion, but I could be incorrect. Scientists have been warning about sun flares for a while. I'd like to be wrong. I know. I'd hate to think. I mean, just like with Kylie Rodney, none of us wanted her mom to be involved, but probably most, if not all of us here, believe that her mom was involved. And forgot to say hello because so excited about fireballs. And I don't think I've asked everybody how you guys are doing. I just told you guys how I'm doing. And I wanted to talk a little bit more about Tanya, Titanium Built, because she's recovered from a really severe car accident that she had about 12 years ago, I think. And I just watched a 3-hour live that she did 4 months ago where she tells all about it. I'll put a link to it in the description. She also has a whole bunch of shorts that I'd seen before about the injury and the recovery, but she almost didn't make it. So she's literally titanium built. Like, she's got so much metal in her, and she's still got recovery. She's still got surgeries. So quite an accomplishment that she's overcome all of that. And you're so excited about fireballs. You're so cute. Stephen Burns, geophysicist. So let me read the Wikipedia real quick about the Tucson shooting 2011, because I'm sure that we all remember when it happened. I had no idea that 19 people were shot, including Gabby. So January 8th, 2011, she was a representative. It was a constituent meeting held in a supermarket parking lot. Okay, so it was a parking lot in CASHAPP, Arizona, in the Tucson metropolitan area. 6 people were unalived, including Federal District Court Chief Judge John Roll, Gabe Zimmerman, one of Gifford's staffers, and a 9-year-old girl. That sucks. Christina Taylor Green is the 9-year-old girl's name. That is horrible. Giffords was holding a meeting called Congress on Your Corner in the parking lot of a Safeway store when Jared Lee Loeffner drew a pistol and shot her through the head at point-blank range before proceeding to fire on others. In addition to Giffords and the 6 deceased, 12 others were shot. News reports identified the target of the attack to be Giffords, a Democrat representing Arizona's 8th congressional district. Gifford's medical condition was initially described as critical. Whoa. Horrible. It was a Glock 19 semi-automatic pistol with a 33-round magazine. 33 rounds. That's crazy. Crazy. Was the perpetrator unalived? No, he was arrested on the scene. 22 years old. What a monster. What an absolute monster. And I'm just kind of reviewing it quickly. So Obama was the president, and the next day he led a nationally televised memorial service. What's this? Hold on. Some commentators criticize the use of harsh political rhetoric in the U.S., with a number blaming the political right wing for the shooting. In particular, Sarah Palin was criticized for a poster by her political action committee that featured stylized crosshairs on an electrical map that included Giffords. Palin rejected claims that she bore any responsibility for the shooting. Whoa. What a monster. Caribou Barbie is what people from Alaska would call her. Okay. Hey, Patricia, what's happening? How are you? Nice to see you. So, yeah, I've got a whole page of notes. I don't think I've even looked at it yet. What else was it that I wanted to say before I do that? There was something that came to mind in all of that with the family being in on it, maybe with Nancy Guthrie. It's just so crazy, the limbo, people having to live in that limbo of not knowing. That is the worst. Absolutely the worst. I hope that they can put her remains to rest. I think that is a huge blessing when you're in that most horrible predicament. You know, that's all you can hope for is to get the remains and to be able to put the remains to rest the way you want to put the remains to rest. What is that cute little mark that is on Billy's comment where it says hi Patricia? Do you guys see that? It kind of looks almost like a an Asian symbol. What is that? Because you guys had it earlier. Are you doing that or is it just happening automatically? Do you know? Um, so yeah, it is phenomenal what people can recover from. It is phenomenal psychologically as well as physically. I think it's a top chat thing. Okay, that makes sense. Well, I don't know because you have the other top chat thing next to your name, Billy, that has the crown with the number 2. I've never seen it before. Have you guys seen it before? But you can see it, right? There's one, the comment that Billy made at 5:21 starts with that symbol that kind of looks like an X or a Y with a line over it and then an A. And then she says, hi, Patricia XO. It is top commenter. Are you sure? Because she has number 2 commenter by her name. So now I'm so confused. But okay, I trust you. You know what you're talking about, Annabese. So remember when talking about using a firearm to end someone's life in a public place, remember when our president said, I could probably do that in the middle of Fifth Avenue in broad daylight and get away with it and nobody would care? And I think that was during his first campaign for the 2016 election. And it seemed like the craziest thing to say, but it also has always seemed abundantly true that that is correct. And I kind of feel like that's what is happening now with this war is it's like he's just blatantly putting people's lives in harm's way and costing many Americans their lives and many non-Americans their lives. And his party doesn't hold it against him, not in the least. They're just like more bombs, more deployments. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. And why would you even want to hurt people? What, that makes you feel powerful? Like, oh, I can do whatever I want and get away with it? What a sick freak, man. And I feel like he's planning on a lot more. It kind of seems like in today's news that he's tacoing, but I would only imagine that he'll flip the switch on that and by tomorrow he'll be deploying more troops. Are there 50,000 troops over there already? Am I tripping? I keep looking it up because I'm trying to stay on top of it. And I'm pretty sure it's 50,000 already. I mean, I'm sure a bunch of them are already stationed there to begin with, right? Let's see, how many troops? They have only deployed a few thousand so far. How many troops stationed? How many troops stationed in the excursion, right? It's not a war, it's an excursion. Yeah, over 50,000 troops in the Middle East. I thought I was tripping. I thought I was making that up. Okay. AI overview, if we can trust them, says as of late March 2026, the US has over 50,000 troops stationed in the Middle East, an increase of roughly 10,000 above the typical 40,000 amid escalating tensions and war in Iran. These forces are spread across the region, including in Iraq, Syria, Jordan, and on ships at sea. So yeah, it's good to know that there's normally around 40,000 scattered around the bases at any time. And um, so it's just like what, a 25% increase. But yeah. I meant the crown. What you mean? So next to the crown, it looks like a Y or an X, and then it has a little line over it, and then it has a little A next to that. So between where the crown and the number 2 is in the white oval circle, between that and where it says hi, there's like this Asian looking symbol. But maybe it's related to that. I've never seen it before. It's wild. And yeah, it's not really an X and it's not really a Y. It's kind of a hybrid of an XY with the A and with the line over the hybrid XY thing. Just to keep us all on our toes, right? In case we're not tripping enough already. It is top commenter, Anna B says. Well, why wouldn't it just say number 1 instead of number 2? I'm so confused. Hi from me to you. Do you read tarot cards on the tube? She does, or she did. She's got her own channel and everything. I don't know if that's still currently getting readings posted on it or if it's just old stuff. But yeah, she'll probably explain here in a minute too. I don't see it, Billy, darling. Yeah, I'm just tripping. He's insane. Tarot, thank you for happy birthday wishes. Absolutely, Anna Bees. Do you have anything fun planned? Total over 50K. Yeah. Asriel is going to take all of the Levant and more. Yeah, I just don't agree with letting BB, if he's even alive. There hasn't been that debate in a few days, huh? But I wanted to go over some of talking about, at least maybe not going over visually, all the fake BB videos, all those AI videos. But you guys, I was going over the Alex Preddy video again. You know, the one where they said that he kicked out the taillight of a ICE vehicle like 11 days before he was unalived by ICE. And I asked AI if that video was AI. And of course AI denies it. But I watched the video a bunch of times and I am 1,000% convinced that it's AI. And I could watch it with you. If I could do my split screen, I would do that. I could watch it with you on the phone. It's like a 2-minute video. Just to break it down, because I think it's important. I do think it's important because I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of this type of crap. And they tried to use that as, oh, look, well, he attacked our vehicle. He's a violent freak. It makes sense that we had to take him out. Okay. If he had attacked their vehicle, I think they would have arrested him right there on the spot. But the way everything about that video, I've watched it a number of times in the past, and I was already convinced that it was AI, but I got a wild hair at yesterday, where the sun don't shine. And I watched it again, like probably 10 or 20 times, and I slowed it down and I watched it without sound and I watched it with sound. They say his name in the video. Somebody like midway through says, "Hey, Alex," or something like that, which is ridiculous. And then at the very end, he says, the AI character playing Alex says, "You guys, this is what we've all been waiting for. This is what we've all been waiting for." As if he has this whole troop of people that he's like the kingpin leader of this troop of Antifa rebels or something. Um, but even the way he kicks the light, if you had steel-toed boots on and you were kicking a tail light of a car as a car was driving away, you wouldn't be able to get it like that. And then the way it pops off is not realistic at all. Um, the whole skirmish is not realistic, and everything is really blocked. Like a lot of the video, and like I said, I'll play it just so that anyone who hasn't seen it before, a lot of the video is like, looking at the sky and all, like they're dropping their phone or whatever, and then a lot of it's focused right on Alex. So like, why would you be focusing right on Alex when you don't know that this stuff is about to happen? And at the very beginning, there's even a guy who is like a character in the play who like looks at you, the camera, and points to Alex like, there, that's where you want to film. And then when they're having their skirmish, it's mostly behind a sign. So you can't really see the skirmish. You hardly ever see Alex's face because of the sign or because of the dropping of the phone. Just weird stuff. And then at one point after the skirmish, like his jacket is coming off like right at the beginning of the skirmish. And then after the skirmish, he takes it off and he throws it on the ground, which why would you throw your jacket on the ground? I mean, there's snow, so it's wet, but he's wearing tan. And after getting beat up on the ground, he's not wet. There's like no watermarks on him. His clothes aren't messy. Everything's just like perfectly ironed after the skirmish. But after he takes his jacket off and throws it on the snow, it looks like he's taking his black gloves off and setting them down at the base of like a pole, like a power pole. Which, why would you take your gloves off and set them down? That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, let's watch it real quick, but let me stay caught up too. Not only hurting people, he's hurting pets, wildlife, and hurting the world we share, environment. I don't think the atmosphere is able to take this. We're beyond the tipping point. Patricia, I'm totally with you on that. Yeah, it's pretty horrendous what's been done to the planet and the environment and the animals. Sounds like a font issue, so perhaps updates to computer. Maybe, baby. Maybe, baby. Hey, Patricia, yes, you are right. He's going to ruin the whole world. Well, and they took all the like the restrictions and the, all the regulatory bodies have been dismantled. Like that's what Doge was for, so that nothing is regulated, so that these businesses can just trash anything they want and everything. I can't believe no one is stopping them. The world is going to be affected by this stupid stuff. I know it's awful. I don't know how we will be getting our old allies back. I know. I mean, I think a lot of them realize that for the most part, our country is in opposition to Biggly Piggly. So I don't think they're going to hold it against our country, but of course they're going to have to some extent, fight back, right? I don't know how we will be getting our old allies back. And remember a few months ago, like a year ago, like when he was first sworn in after the second time that he was inaugurated, he made some stupid ass comments about how sometimes your friends aren't really your friends and your enemies aren't really your enemies. And he wasn't talking about like socially, he was talking about like international allies. And it was obvious right away he was talking about Daddy Vladdy's country. But as soon as those words came out of his mouth, I was like, you just can't be any more gaslit than that. Like you don't know anything. You like the ones that you thought were your friends maybe aren't your friends, and the ones that you thought are your enemies maybe aren't your enemies. Just like totally trying to spin you around to manipulate you. Like you don't know which way is up. That's what his goal was, I think. Um, oh, it just makes me so sick. And so many, that's what I wanted to say, is so many of these domestic violence perpetrators are Trumpster fire supporters. The Tepe Red Rummer, Mike McKee, massive Trumpster fire supporter. Same thing with Caleb Flynn in Tip City, massive Trumpster fire supporter. Same thing with Barry Morphew, massive Trumpster fire reporter, and JLR, massive Trumpster fire supporter. Like, I was going to ask why all of these DV perpetrators are Trumpster fire supporters, but the answer is in the question. I mean, look what's in the Trumpstein files. Like, it's pretty much misogynistic crap. It's violence against not even women, but female kids, children, primarily female, primarily. It's complete misogyny. So much of what the MAGA movement is misogyny. It is Handmaid's Tale crap. It is taking rights away from women. That's what it's all about. And yeah, we might want to talk about JLR too. What a dick. And you know, JLR is who single-handedly screwed up the whole Barry Morphew case with live streaming from the court when that was explicitly not allowed. JLR effed up that case for all YouTubers, but also for the court, for the state of Colorado. And now it was just today that I thought, I wonder if he was a friend of Barry's. I wonder if he did that on purpose. I wonder if that was a favor that he did for Barry. I don't really think so, but it's a good question to ask. You never know. IT training is to turn the machine off, then back on again. Yes, that is my favorite IT training, Billy. All the clean energy, new job opportunities. Democrats need to step up. Corporate Dems in APAC. I know. Schumer and Jeffries need to go. APAC needs to go. Bathing in PAC monies like fiends. Exactly. We need to demand 100%. For me to you, Tarot now has it. And yes, she has the #1 commenter sticker, and she's got the weird Asian looking symbol before the 100%. Do you guys see it, or is it just me? Agreed. Some of the January 6 rioters are suing the Capitol Police for hurting them. I know. It's so infuriating. Okay, I was going to pull up this Alex Preddy video and see if I can show you. Alex Preddy. And yeah, I even asked, has anyone put the Alex Preddy video into an AI detector? Kicking taillight. Okay, so this is the Associated Press. The one that I was watching specifically was the New York Post. And then let's see. I'll just go ahead and show the Associated Press one.
In a survey of 1,000 Americans, half have less than $500 in savings.
Sorry for the ad. You know what? Let me try it again. I don't know that this is going to, okay, this is going to work. But now I'm going to stop at the very beginning. See this guy? This is like your narrator showing you, pointing over here to where Alex Pretty is. Like, who the F is he? Why is he communicating with the person with the camera in their hand? But let's turn it up too, if I can.
New footage has emerged of Alex Pretty, filmed 11 days before he was fatally shot by Border Patrol officers in Minneapolis on January 24th. In the footage, filmed on January 13th, Pretty is seen here, shouting expletives and spitting at a federal immigration agent's car.
Okay, I don't think it's in his character to spit like that, especially being a nurse. He's not going to be putting his germs on people like that, in my opinion. But, you know, with a hat and glasses and a beard, how easy is it to do an AI? And you also have to remember that he's basically wearing the exact same outfit that he's wearing in the other video where they unalive him. So first he spits and then he kicks the taillight twice. But watch, the vehicle's moving away while he's kicking it. You're not going to be able to get that kind of power in a the physics just don't math. The math ain't mathin'.
A protest. He then kicks the agent's vehicle, breaking a tail light. The agents exit there.
Okay, so now do you see the arrow is pointing right to that tail light. So not only did the tail light fall out and it's like dangling, hanging here, but there's also like a piece of the vehicle that like popped off. And I just don't know if that's how the material's gonna respond. And then when the guy gets out of the car, in real life, I think they would just effing arrest him. Right? I mean, they have every right to, and we know that they like to do that. So why do they get in a scuffle with him and then he wiggles away and they don't grab him again? Like, watch. Here.
And a scuffle takes place. Pretty, on the ground, loses.
And then they've got like the girl screaming, like the shrieks start. Like all you've heard is a woman yelling, no, no, no. But you're going to hear some shrieks and for the rest of it.
Coat.
And you hear Alex saying, help me, help me. It's weird.
When he gets back up, what appears to be a handgun is visible in his...
Yeah, it does. It does appear to be a handgun. So they're just going to keep like, I don't know, manhandling him and then not manhandling him and then just like standing around kicking the dirt when they see that he's got that hanging out of his pants. And so this is the pole or the sign that is blocking a lot of the action. It just happens to be blocking a lot of the action.
Banned. At no point do the videos show Pretty reaching for the gun, and it is unclear whether the federal agents saw it. Agents then deploy smoke canisters and drive away. In another video, a bystander can be seen checking if Pretty is okay. You okay? I'm okay. Are we all okay? The new videos immediately rekindled the national debate about Pretty's death. An attorney representing Pretty's parents said the altercation on January 13th in no way justified the officers fatally shooting Pretty on the 24th. Homeland Security Investigations is reviewing the new videos and the incident. It's not known if any of the officers involved in the altercation on the 13th were also there when Pretty was killed.
So I'm just not buying any of it. So that's the AP video. I will put a link to that in the description and a link to the one that I was going over yesterday, which is the New York Post one. But yeah, like I said, I think it's important to look at that for a moment real quick with you guys today, because I think we're going to be getting a whole lot of AI videos of all kinds of crap. I mean, not just BB buying coffee and doing backflips and all that crap. Oh man, we haven't talked about the video of him in the war room meeting. Like, we haven't done a breakdown of that one. It is so fake. And let me show you what I'm talking about real quick, and then I'll get caught up on your comments. It's funny how fake it is. It's like a 30-second video, and they're all like AI robots. Let's see. Sorry, 1 second. And yeah, Christine Nome and her husband with the fake boobs. OMG. OMG. Let's see. BB in the war room. I just want to show you which one I'm talking about. It's this one. This is a 35-second video.
I'm here with Israel's defense minister, our chief of staff, the head of the Mossad, the chief of Air Force, our senior commanders. In the past 24 hours, we knocked out 2 of the terrorist chieftains, the top terrorist chieftains of this tyranny. Our aircraft are hitting the terror operatives on the ground in the crossroads.
Okay, so this is the one I'm talking about. It's a 35-second video. This guy over his shoulder had been fired already before this fake video was made. But even the lights in the ceiling fixture are in the wrong place. So I'll set that down. I won't get into that. I want to stay caught up with you guys. But like I said, we're going to be getting a lot more of these bullcrap AI videos, and we just got to keep an eye for them and not trust Google when Google tries to tell us that they're not AI, because we know that that can be programmed to say anything they want it to say. It's crazy, Billy. No wonder they like little T. Yeah, they are like disgusting. They would have kicked his butt if that really happened that way. Anna B is exactly with Alex Preddy. Yeah. And they all are wearing the same outfit, and they're all wearing like gas masks, where that's not how they were dressed when they were actually doing these things, right? I mean, they weren't all wearing the same uniforms, and they weren't all wearing gas masks. I just heard somebody at the door. Let me see if I can text real quick. Okay. Sorry for that interruption. So I'm trying to stay up with you guys, stay caught up. How dare AP put that out if it's AI? What the actual F? I know, Billy, and I think that they're all being bullied and strong-armed into doing that. Because yeah, like the New York Post is owned by Rupert Murdoch, and even though he and Trumpster Fire are at odds, they're also like frenemies. The Washington Post, we know that's a piece of crap rag of you can't call it a newspaper. It's like bird cage liner, basically. By the way, all the pet videos being extra cute and interactive are AI. They are AIing the pets. I know, and it's so sad because those videos are so fun to watch, even if they are AI. It's heartbreaking. You want it to be real. I love it when you guys do breakdowns. I learned a lot. Oh, cool, Patricia. I'm happy to do the breakdowns. I just wish I had the technology to do it more better. I mean, I don't mind holding my phone up, but I would think it would be annoying for you guys. But that's why I always put the links in the description so you can watch the video with more clarity. I really need to learn the technology with like CapCut or StreamYard so that I can just pull it up on the screen and then go over it in more detail with you guys. Wouldn't that be cool? I would love to. And Tanya said she'll teach me that. So we'll see if we can figure that out together, because she was like, oh yeah, it's easy, no problem. Like my other YouTubing friends are far away, so if I could get together with them in person, I would, but and like I said, I know I could learn it with a YouTube video, or if my family would be so kind, because they're all freaking computer geniuses. And I don't have the patience for them. They don't have the patience for me. It was my youngest daughter, who's 14 now. She was 11 when she helped me set up my YouTube channel. Her and a friend of mine, the two of them, I didn't do anything. I mean, I was there. I supervised, right? I love it when you guys do breakdowns. Fake BB, Billy. So are you saying that Punch is AI? Oh no, not Punch. That can't be. That would be absolutely heartbreaking. I don't know about Punch, Billy says. Send me a link and I can say. Nah, those short TikTok clips or reels with cute dogs or cats. Right. And they're just doing like the greatest stuff in the world. Punch is a monkey in a zoo in China, I think. But yeah, you would think that China would be all over the AI stuff. I remember they had a bear a few years ago. It was called like a sun bear or something, and it just like stood around looking like a human in a bear costume, and they tried to swear that it was a real bear. I think it even waved at one point. Like, it was so freaking fake. So they're famous for that kind of stuff. Wasn't it a sun bear? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? All right. So 1 second. Sun bear, China sun bear. Let's see. That was hilarious because it was all brand new back then too. I forgot all about that. The China sun bear. Okay, the sun bear is the smallest bear species native to the tropical rainforests of Southeast Asia, including parts of southern China. They are known for their jet black coat and a unique U-shaped orange or cream colored chest patch that gives them their name. Sun bears are highly adapted for an arboreal lifestyle, featuring long curved claws and loose, wrinkly skin that helps them navigate dense forests and evade predators. So this is what one looks like. Oh my God, these are so funny because this just looks fake, and it might be fake and it might not be. So that's what their sun bear in the zoo looks like, right? Totally not fake. Totally not fake. But I think that it like screwed up. Yeah, here we go. And it waved. It waved to people. Like, it was like the person in the costume forgot to not act human and to act like a bear. So that was the wave. And it wasn't until that wave that people were like, wait a second, you're messing with us. That's not really a bear. But they deny that its waving sun bear is a human in a costume. Okay. Zoo confirms standing waving human bear is real. Okay. I don't believe it, because you guys remember this, right? It was a few years ago. There's just no way that the bear just happens to make the same movement that humans would make. I think the human forgot to keep up the human act. And then it looks even more fake from behind, and like the saggy skin around the butt. It's like maybe some of them are real, but then like some of them are people and they just got carried away with it. And because it was probably a big money maker, right? Huge money maker. Let's see, what does this say? Chinese zoo sun bear is 100% a bear, animal expert says. Well, if the animal expert says it, then it must be true, right? But when was this? This was so funny. And like I said, the Chinese are known for this kind of stuff. So this was just 3 years ago, August 2023. We don't need to go on and on about it, but I think that they are having fun with pulling people's legs and seeing how far they can take things. And we just have to stay alert, because it's like the cooking the frog, the slow boil. They're going to just keep doing things to seduce us into believing things that aren't real. Basically, it can be very dangerous. Let's see. No, I was wrong. He's in Japan. Oh, who's in Japan? The sun bear? Was the sun bear in Japan? Saw 2 glitches in the video, so maybe, Billy says. Oh, no way, Billy. I want Punch to be real. I know. Punch with his girlfriend is just the happiest ending. We all need that right now, don't we? Okay, it was glitch. It was magnification of Punch's tiny face for 2 seconds. So they did purposely after the video with effects. Yep, that bear isn't a bear. Yeah, the posture is just, it's just like, come on, how stupid do you think we are? But again, I think by nature people are gullible, because we just take things at face value, unless we're skeptical of everything, which we should be, just because there are so many people trying to bullshit you all the freaking time. It's ridiculous. But uncertain about AI involvement. I just have to keep up with you girls, Annabese. Social media is making us dumber. So have you heard of the thing with some of the kids these days? Instead of having smartphones, they're getting stupid phones because they are afraid that their smartphones are making them stupid. So they're going back to like the flip phones and stuff like that. I think that's really cool. Humans want to believe. It's hardwired for our survival, as is suspicion. I believe it, Billy darling. Okay. The thing with the trial in the Tip City case, the Caleb Flynn and Ashley Smith Flynn, the 2 intimidation charges, I think, are very fascinating. So he's got 11 charges on him. A handful of them are red rum charges. The 2 intimidation of a witness charges could be because it says in the paperwork that they happened between February 16th and February 18th. The red rum happened on the 16th, and then he was arrested on the 19th. So it could be two separate incidences involving the same person. Like maybe the mother-in-law, because she was kind of a witness, because he called her to come and manipulate and gaslight her and for her to help with the kids. And a lot of people think that it's the kids, that the two intimidation charges are to the kids. But the way that each charge is written is different. So in my opinion, if it was the kids, they would be like the same. Because one is like a felony 3 and the other one's a felony 1 even. Like they're different levels. So I'm kind of thinking it might be the mom. And I don't think that there's other possibilities for witnesses. The intimidation of a witness. Like, I don't think there are any other witnesses. I think it would only, that your only choices could be the mom or the two daughters. Or it could be one of the daughters and one could be the mom, of course. Or it could be that both charges are to the same daughter. Like maybe he tries to manipulate the older one more than the younger one, or the younger one more than the older one. Who knows? But my guess is on his mother-in-law, although I think most people that I've heard talk about it, they all think that it's the daughters. But either way, he's got 2 charges of intimidation of a witness. Okay, so I want to talk about the overpaying by millions, tens of millions, in one case even 100 million extra dollars, overpaying for property to build the ICE detention camps on. Have you guys heard about this in the news? I think it's just been like the last 24 hours that I've really heard about it. I've kind of heard about it before and it didn't really sink in, the significance of it. But now, especially with Kristi Noem's firing and Corey Lewandowski being under investigation, they've been buying these properties in different states. I think there's one in Georgia that they paid $129,000 for, and it was appraised at $29,000 or something like that. But there's different cases where, something's appraised at say 45 million and then they pay 90 million for it. My knee-jerk reaction to that is that they're money laundering, that they're wanting to pay more money because they're trying to find places to put this money where they can legitimize it. So they take a $50,000, or I'm sorry, am I speaking thousands when I should be millions? They take a $50 million property, and instead of paying $50 million for it, they pay $150 million for it. So then they've got that whole extra $100 million that they don't have to worry about laundering anymore because it's already taken care of. So, and then who are they doing all these deals with? Like, who's getting the money? Just like with Kristi Noem's $200 million plus $230 million advertising campaign, like the bulk of that $230 million was paid to a company that, it's my understanding, that she formed 8 days before she gave that company a $130 million contract. So these mofos, they suck. They are stealing our money left and right. And we know freaking dear leader has done that to the tune of $8 billion in just over a year that he's been in office. He is just robbing us blind and allowing any of his loyalists to do that too. Like, that's obviously the bond that they have, like Pamela Bondi, like why they're gonna suck up to him and stay silent is because he's allowing them to fleece the country along with him. And then he's got dirt on them too. So if he allows them to do something illegal, like with a teenager, with $100 million, either one, he's got that on them. So then he controls them. That's how that crap works. It's all blackmail. Let's see. Where did the comments go, Pin? What's up with the videos with Biden sniffing little girls' hair? Is that AI? I hope. Anna Bees, that's a good question. I hope it is too, but I kind of think it's not. But yeah, I don't know. If it's not, then that is very weird. If I get to hold a baby, I will smell said baby and probably make funny faces. I'm the same way, Billy. I am very olfactory oriented, and I love to, like, even like pets, you know, when I cuddle my face into a kitten or a puppy, I always want to like smell them. I'm very olfactory oriented like that. Babies smell good if clean. No reason to smell anyone else. Yeah. And said baby must be a family member. Yeah, you don't want to be sniffing other people's babies because that is kind of creepy for sure. I probably smell babies too. I don't know if I do it, but yeah, I only hold babies that are family. Yeah, with my own babies, I will often like, I mean, obviously I haven't done it for 14 years because my youngest is 14. But like with the grandbaby now, like I will just put my face on their little fuzzy peach fuzz head and just continually sniff their head because they do smell so good if they're clean, right? Men should keep their hands to themselves. OMG, you guys, you heard the Trumpster fire a few days ago, Friday, today's Tuesday, where he said, go ahead, you can ask me anything you want. You can ask me about sex if you want to. This was at a financial meeting in Miami with Saudi Arabia, and they were talking about the war, and he's like, go ahead, ask me about sex. Like, he's so brazen because I don't even think that was by mistake. I don't think he slipped up. I think he did that on purpose to try to like neutralize all of the stuff in the Trump files. And I wish somebody did ask him about that crap. I wish somebody did. But I'm sure people there were just so flabbergasted. They didn't know what to say or do or think. They probably all just wanted to run. Like, I don't want to talk to you about that crap. I'm not smelling strange babies. No way. Totally agree with that, Billy. I don't care if they offer, I'm not touching that stranger's baby. Yeah, you got to be really careful too, because some people will, you know, kind of maybe try to like set you up like, oh yeah, go ahead, hold my baby, and then freak out or something. Or, you know, something could just happen. Like maybe the baby will like throw itself out of your hands, and then, you know, you just got to be really careful. Me either, Anna B says. So yeah, that's weird as hell. Jill should have shut that BS down immediately. What the F, Jill? Yeah, absolutely. Teach her husband how to behave. You don't leave your man unsupervised, right? Because you just never know what they'll get into. They're just out of control, like kids, like wild animals. Exactly. He's already had dementia by then, and yeah, pull him up by his collar. I heard Biden's daughter wrote a book. The FBI has it. I think it's true. Biden could have released those files. He definitely could have released those files, and couldn't Obama. Obama was president. No. Bush was president during the sweetheart deal. But yeah, I hold Bush accountable for what happened there in Florida with Alex Acosta. And I want to apologize once in a while when I bring up Alex Acosta. I'll say Jim Acosta, who, in my opinion, is an excellent journalist and has nothing to do with Alex Acosta. But once in a while, I say the wrong name. So I'm just wanting to apologize for any time that I've done that. But Alex Acosta was obviously the lawyer that did the sweetheart deal with Little E in Florida in 2007, 8, and 9-ish. I think it was like 2008 was when it was like a done deal. And then he served his time in 2009. And so Bush was president during that time. But then when Donald appointed Alex Acosta to be the Secretary of Labor in his first term, like in 2017, 2018, that was very incriminating because Alex Acosta was the one who handled that whole deal. And then he tried to say that it was beyond his pay grade to make that call, that he was instructed to handle Little E with kid gloves because Little E was belonged to other governments, basically Mossad, and other stuff, that he was an asset at the very least, if not more, for at least a couple of other countries, Daddy Vladdy's and BB's. And Alex Acosta needs to be deposed. They probably should depose Bush about that too, because he was president when that happened. But then when Obama became president, then let me look that up, what year that was, so I'm not screwing things up. 2009 to 2017. So during that time, I think it was 2011, was when Pamela Bondi became the Attorney General of Florida, and Little E was under investigation shortly thereafter in the state of Florida for maybe the money laundering, actually. So yeah, I mean, they all need to be held accountable. They do. Let's see, Epstein investigation, 2012 to 2016 or 15. Let's see what it says. Because I was looking it up recently, the money laundering specifically, because usually that's where they can hang their hat. That's where they can get people. If a lot of times sex crimes are hard because witnesses get silenced and such. But during the time that Pamela Bondi was the AG for Florida, which was, I believe, 2011 until 2016. Let me see what it says about that. Bondi, Florida AG. Yeah, from 2011 to 2019, actually. Okay. Sorry, I've got it itch on my nose. I don't even have a fan in here today. Usually the fan is like what makes my nose itch because I usually have it kind of pointing at my face, but it's pretty warm outside. So we actually have the AC on, so it's a little chilly. So I didn't need a fan. Yes, Patricia, he could have released them. I heard Biden's daughter, yeah. It is abhorrent, absolutely. Yes, I've heard him say that. Reporters should have started asking him about the e-files. Reagan knew. Wow. Yeah, that goes way back. I mean, obviously, Clinton knew. Funny, not funny. GOP been hiding those PDFs since forever. Well, right. We were talking about that in the last video, how having hundreds of millions of files, like, shouldn't everybody that hid those be held accountable? I mean, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of accountability or lack thereof. Since they helped create the Fed Reserve Bank, those POS been trying to own us all. Yes, they all do. Since WW2, they give away others' land to the current terrorists in the East to make their country. They want the dome to fall so they can rebuild their temple. So the Iron Dome that protects Israel from missiles and such, Erica Kurtz worked on the Iron Dome in Israel. You guys know that, right? That's a fact. You can look that up. Erica Kirk's dad worked on the Iron Dome in Israel. These families go way back, man. They want the dome to fail. Dems doing nothing. WTF. Wait, Billy. What? What dome? What temple? Is they real? So yeah, when you say temple and dome, I think of the blue and white striped temple that used to have the gold dome on it on Pedo Island, and then that gold dome got destroyed, I think, in one of the hurricanes. But that building with the blue and white stripes is very like Egyptian looking. It's very reminiscent of the bathhouses from way back. And it's also very reminiscent of Ellen DeGeneres' set for her talk show. Those weird royal blue and white wide stripes. The current dome in Jerusalem is a mosque. They want a kibbutz. I don't even know what that is. Oh, thank you. Sometimes I'm dense. No worries. I'm being careful with words. Always good to be careful with the words. Okay. So what else? You guys heard about the 10-foot tall golden toilet statue on the National Mall by the Lincoln Memorial? That's a good one. 10-foot tall golden toilet. I just heard about that yesterday. Too funny. So this was not funny. Caroline was being asked a question by a reporter at one of her pressers about the war, and she actually flipped her hair while he was asking the question. And I was like watching her really closely because I just got the feeling that she wasn't even listening to him, that she was just like basking in the attention of people looking at her. And she's been doing so much weird stuff with her face and her makeup. I know she's pregnant, so some women might get self-conscious about the weight that they're putting on when they're pregnant. So maybe they're going to try to focus more on their hair and makeup or something. I don't know. I mean, at least she can hide behind the podium if she's worried about body image stuff. But she's had Botox put in her lips or some kind of lip filler. Her lips are just like blowing up like a fish, like a blowfish. So she's just like doing all the, like she's just looks like she's not listening. She looks like she's really thinking about people looking at her. But then she like flips her hair and runs her fingers through it as she's being asked a question about war. She's flipping her hair like a Charlie's Angel. Holy crap. And I just got to be critical and superficial for a moment because I don't think I've ever said anything about it and I've wanted to. I think this is called your phylum, the skin between your nose and your lip. And her phylum or whatever it's called is like way too long. It's so disproportionate. And I'm wondering if it's so huge and disproportionate looking because she got her nose shrunken, because she looks like her nose is even smaller than it was when she first came onto the scene. So if she is getting nose work, getting her nose smaller and smaller, and then leaving her phylum the same size, that's just stupid. But I don't know. I just wanted to ask you guys what you thought, like if anyone has noticed it. Let's see. No worries. I'm being careful with words. By the way, Anna, you are not dense. Just saying. Yeah, she's not at all. She's a sharp cookie, huh? Don't say that about yourself. Thank you, Billy. And Anna, I heard about it. So, did I highlight this? Is that why it's like stuck there? I shouldn't try to highlight anything because I don't think I have my cursor, but I'm just going to replace pinned message because it looked like one of Billy's messages was pinned and stuck. Okay, so now I think I changed it. That's weird because it used to pin whatever message you had pinned. It used to be at the top of the chat, but now it's doing it at the bottom. Like that's brand new. Why do they have to change crap all the time? Why? I hate change. I do. Okay, I got another one for you guys on the superficial level, but this is a really good one. This is even better than the Carolyn Levitt crap. Our favorite, Pete Kegsbreath. You know how his arms are always looking like they're popping out? Like he kind of looks like a little kid that has like a big heavy sweater on and then a coat that's like too small with the sweater, and he's going outside in the snow and he can't like get his arms down to be parallel with the sides of his body. You know how Pete Hegseth looks like that? And then Colin Jost does a really good job of like playing that up. And I always thought that Kegsbreath was just like a bird kind of trying to fluff his feathers to look big, right? And I still think that. But I also think that he has special made jackets. Like, like farmers have blue jeans that have like not just flannel built into the inside of them, but like actually like a whole quilt and then flannel so that farmers can go outside in the cold. Like they put long johns on with those blue jeans with the quilted lining and it could be 20 below and they wouldn't care, right? But you see the texture of how the pants fit and how the fabric is. It's very different than regular jeans or jeans that are simply lined with flannel. I think that Kegsbreath has that stuffing like filler built into the sports jacket arms. Check it out, you guys. I am not kidding you. They're all wrinkled up. Like, I mean, he can afford whatever tailored suit he wants, but he can't get his arms down. And the fabric on the arms is like very different than the fabric of the rest of the jacket and very different than the fabric of anybody else's jackets. I think he's putting thick fabric in the arms of his jackets to try to make himself look like a man, make himself look beefy. I just finally put it all together in the last like 24 or 48 hours. And I was so excited to share it with you guys. So you can check him out and test my theory. He's such a dope. Like, he cares way more about that stuff than he cares about the stuff that he should care about. And man, the way he talks, like, he just says the stupidest things, not just Department of War, not just that, but like every single thing that he says, like, the man is just nuts. He's just shit for brains. He's the worst. The worst. Like, I used to think he was funny, like a male bimbo, Mimbo, like a like a Ken doll, like a Barbie doll, but there's nothing funny about him. He's so dangerous. He's such a nut. He's such a menace, not just to society, but to humanity. Let's see. I think he stuffs a rolled sock in his pants in place of his peen. Oh my God, that is so funny, Billy. You're reminding me of the Spinal Tap movie where the guy's got like the cucumber in tinfoil that he pulls out of his pants when he's going through airport security. That would be Keg's breath. Oh, MG. Okay, what else we got here? And then the jacket that he was wearing today or yesterday has like this skinny little like red, white, and blue kind of resembles like a handkerchief kind of thing in his pocket. He usually has like a red, white, and blue handkerchief in his pocket. And he usually has his jackets lined with red, white, and blue, whatever, that's fine, no big deal. But the way that this particular hanky or whatever was on his jacket really looked like it was trying to look like a general's badges of honor, basically. And that's what I'm thinking he's doing, is he's trying to wear like a badge of honor, but then, oh no, that's just a handkerchief. I'm not really doing that. I'm not really doing what I'm doing. Oh, he's such a freaking loser. Okay, so did you know that there were doctors that would go over to the island or to E's mansion to perform surgeries on children on dining room tables? Did you know about this? Because I didn't really know about this. Like, I kind of knew about it, but not really. It's in the files. So there's doctors that little E would call when there was a situation, and you'd say, I need you to come fix up this kid that got injured or what have you. And they would do surgeries on his effing dining room table. Every single one of those doctors needs to be hung out to dry. No mercy. No mercy, mofos. Like, they knew exactly why they were being called to do a surgery on a freaking dining room table rather than take this child into a hospital to get appropriate medical treatment. Absolutely insane. The stuff that's in those files, the stuff that we talk about it once in a while. I try not to talk about it because I don't want to throw up. A lot of people don't talk about it, I think, either because they don't know it's there or they just don't want to talk about it because it's so gross. We've talked about the beef jerky. We've talked about the hundreds of suspicious emails about beef jerky that were even more suspicious when they removed those emails from the files. Like, all they're doing is confirming that it's not really beef jerky. And if it were beef jerky, the FBI is not going to take freaking photographs of it and put the photographs of the beef jerky in their files now, are they? So there's that whole aspect. And then there's the other thing that we almost never, ever, ever, ever talk about, that we don't want to, but I do think it's important to keep it in mind, even if we don't want to keep it in mind, but I'm just going to spit it out. Virginia writes about it in her book. I think she mentions it at least twice. It's the bestiality. Like that's a huge thing with those mofos. So the Smex abuse is horrible, absolutely horrid. But the worst crimes are probably the thing I just said that I don't like to say. That and the consumption thing, absolutely freaking disgusting, insane. Like, who are these people? They're not people, they're freaking monsters. If these things are true, and I believe that they are. So then you've got the Zorro Ranch and the island where they do all kinds of crazy Frankenstein experiments, like the kinds of experiments that Adolf did during World War II. Zorro Ranch, when little E bought it and told people he was buying it for it to be his baby farm, I took that to mean his baby farm for his babies because he wanted to populate the world with his seed. But it's occurred to me in more recent weeks that those farms were probably used by people like Big E, who has told all of us that he wants to have 5,000 babies. 5,000 babies. And he's only got 14 that we know of. But maybe he's got another 1,000 at the ranch or at the island or places like that, you guys. Maybe all these billionaires are doing that because they're insane. And then because you've got people like little E that want to make money off of that. Because if you can provide that service, like, sure, you want to have 1,000 babies, well, that'll just cost you, $10 million each. So that'll be $1 billion to have 1,000 babies. I got you. We can provide that service for you. Because all the money that little E had, I think he had like about $500 million on the day that he passed away, that he had refunneled the money to different accounts within 48 hours before the day that he allegedly passed away. That $500 million is not all the money that he had. That was like all the money that he had, like maybe in the Cayman Islands or something. But that doesn't count like the Swiss bank accounts. That doesn't count all the other countries. So, not to let my imagination run too wild, I think that I'm being realistic. I think that it's obvious that these freaks would do this if they could. And I think that they could. I think that they did. And I think that that's what's still being hidden. Like, it's not like it stopped happening on the day that he allegedly passed away, right? And you got somebody like Matt Gaetz, who I think wanted to be like a little protege of the little E. And he was almost our attorney general. And he backed out, maybe because he was afraid that he wouldn't be able to withstand the scrutiny of the microscope, that he'd be discovered. I don't know. But Blondie Bondi's not much better. She's kind of cut from the same cloth as Matt Gaetz. And sometimes, and I'm not having any like compassion or sympathy for somebody like Gaetz or little E, but sometimes people like that get hung out to dry. They get flogged, they get scapegoated, as if all of those crimes lie with them and no one else. So you get them taken care of. You put Jizz in jail and you got E deceased, you Epstein little E, and you put Jizz in jail. There, problem solved. We're all good now. Let's get back to work and, keep on keeping on. Jizz is probably still doing the same thing from prison, actually, when I hadn't even never really thought about it like that. But yeah. I mean, apparently that's how these criminals work. Like, they keep doing the stuff that they do when they're behind bars, right? I mean, us not being criminals, it's hard to wrap our minds around it. But the crimes don't stop. The greed doesn't stop. The compulsion doesn't stop. I mean, people get addicted to whatever it is that they're doing. So if they're doing inappropriate things with, I don't even like to say it. If they're doing inappropriate things, they get addicted to doing those inappropriate things. And they're not going to be able to stop. Even if they want to stop, they're going to need professional help to intervene. Like, PDF files are like that. People who abuse animals are like that. So who are they going to go to get help? First of all, they have to want the help, right? They have to admit that they have a problem. They have to want to change. And personally, being in the field of mental health, I don't know of any mental health treatment for people who abuse animals like that. I've never heard of a facility or a therapist that does that type of work. And I certainly would not want anybody to live the life of doing that type of work, helping people out of that type of an addiction. Of course, there are facilities and therapists who work with PDFs, help them try to get out of that, but it's really hard. Like, a lot of them don't want help. The recidivism rate is so high, and those programs are expensive, and people usually only participate in them because they're required to by law, and they usually don't succeed. So there, my spiel. I said it. It's horrible. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to go on such a negative turn, but it's got to be said. It's got to be talked about. This stuff doesn't die with little E, and it doesn't get locked up with freaking Jizz. It's still happening, and it needs to be acknowledged and dealt with. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying. Let me get out of my brain. He's so gross. He can't do anything to look better. Oh my goodness. Keg's breath. Wow. No, I didn't know that. My brother-in-law used to make really good beef jerky. I know that we never texted or called him or emailed him. Oh, I love you, Anna Bees. That is the best comment ever. Let me highlight that. Oh my God, that is hilarious. I got to read it again. My brother-in-law used to make really good beef jerky. I know that we never texted or called him or emailed him that we wanted some. You're just like putting me in stitches. Like, I am ready to like laugh and cry at the same time. That is a beautiful comment, Anna Bees. You're killing me. Killing me. That is too funny. Food Farm. There you go, Billy. These people are so sick. So sick. I want to know what grape soda is, you guys. When they have all these emails about the pizza and the grape soda, what do you think grape soda is? Unless, like, they're using grape the way we use grape, to not say the R word. That's all I can think of. Do you guys have any ideas? Yes, Jazz, it's really hard to hear those unthinkable things, but it's really it's really important to talk about. Right, because we don't want it to continue. We don't want animals to get abused like that. We certainly don't want people to get abused like that. And then people being forced to do those things with animals. That's what Virginia wrote about in her book. Like, they would abuse the girls with objects. They would abuse the girls by making the girls do things to each other. These people are so disgusting. And I think it's important too that it wasn't just the gratification. It wasn't just being able to control other people. They liked scaring the crap out of other people. Like, that's what got them off more than anything, was freaking these kids out. That's what really got them fired up. That's what they lived for. He gave everything to his girlfriend at the time, not Jizz. Right. Yeah. Jizz and him were broken up because remember, she married the secret husband dude. I think she married him in 2016. And then I forget the name of the girlfriend that he gave everything to. Wasn't it the one that's a dentist? The one that he was putting through dental school? But yeah, Jizz and her husband, I think they did business deals with Nancy Pelosi and her husband. And then with that Murkowski in Alaska and her husband. So Jizz had that Terra, was it Terra Mar, the name of the company where she thought she was going to rule all the oceans like the wicked mermaid Ursula in The Little Mermaid. What a freak, man. She just thought she was going to rule the freaking oceans and be the queen of all the pirates. I mean, not entitled at all. Yes, they do. People like that don't want to change. Never had to walk over the turkey. Yeah. Well, and again, just to reiterate that these people are so stupid, they don't realize that when they scrub things that they're just admitting guilt. Like they're just making it that much more suspicious, whatever it is that they're scrubbing. So taking all of those beef jerky emails out of the files after people were discovering them and talking about them just confirmed that it's not beef jerky. Completely confirmed. Because if it was beef jerky, you'd just be like, oh, these stupid people are just tripping all about the beef jerky. You know, so what? We like some fancy beef jerky. We like to freeze our beef jerky. We like our fresh beef jerky. And then the prosciutto. What was it? Like prosciutto chips. Remember the email about the prosciutto chips? And prosciutto is like pork. And little E was Jewish, and Jewish people don't eat pork. I don't know how to spell prosciutto. Here we go. Yeah, it's a ham, dry cured Italian ham, typically made from the hind leg of a pig, seasoned with salt and air dried for months, resulting in a delicate, sweet, salty flavor. Okay, that's really disgusting because we're talking about long pig. We're talking about long pig. Jewish people do not eat ham. And so the prosciutto chips were to hold little E over before they could get a shipment of more of that other stuff. And then when there were the emails about him not needing the beef jerky because he was going back to eating regular food. He's going back on his diet is going back to regular food or something like that. We don't need the beef jerky. Frozen embryos. Okay. He gave everything to his girlfriend. Yes, they do. Oh, they can't be rehabbed. I almost can't hear this. I know, Patricia, and I almost can't talk about it. Like, I mean, when I read about it in Virginia's book, I just kind of like put it in a compartment. I compartmentalized it, and I literally forgot to mention it to you guys forever. I mean, obviously, it was in the book when I read the book to you guys, but I don't think we stopped to talk about it. I think we just kind of blew right over it like it was nothing. It's just too much. It really is. But I do think it's important to acknowledge it. But yeah, I mean, I'm like wanting to throw up already right now. I'm surprised I've been able to talk about it this long without gagging. Okay, enough. I'm not going to walk away. Thank you. It's needed. But I'm not going to walk away. Thank you. It's needed. Ah, yeah. Prosciutto. Yeah, I can't speak or spell. Yep, they don't eat pork. That would be ruined if dried as a chip. WTF. I know. Ugh. All right. What else we got? So let's move on to another topic before we wrap it up. We're already at 2 hours. The bullet that was used on Charlie Kirk doesn't match the weapon that Tyler Robinson had, allegedly. Have you guys been hearing about this in the news the last like 24 hours? I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but WTF, they're probably just trying to use it as another distraction, right? Just like all of the videos that they keep dropping, like the body cam footage from the Idaho 4. Like, why now? 3.5 years later, really? Now's the time. So, yeah, I think they're just throwing spaghetti at the wall. Anything and everything to distract from the e-files, because the damn war isn't doing it by itself. We got to keep kidnapping old ladies. We got to just keep doing as much distraction as we can possibly do. Heck, they probably put the gold toilet in the National Mall, right? That would be so funny if Donnie's people start doing stunts like that just to like grab the headlines and to distract. It wouldn't surprise me. The man is out of his freaking mind. Out of his freaking mind. So I think we should wind down since we're at 2 hours and 1 minute. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. I love you. I missed you so much. It's so nice to see you again. And how do you like the set? I keep getting new little things. What do I have new in here? Well, this is new. This is like a Frank Lloyd Wright building. I think it's one that's in Springfield, Ohio. And it has a rock garden in the front yard. And then I've got like a little bonsai tree over here, but you can hardly see it. It's like kind of off camera. Let's see if I turn it a little bit. You can see it, but then it blocks that funny little lamp. Oh, this is cool. This is like a piece of plastic with a light in it. Oh, you can't see it. There you go. Is that so cool? So it's like brown plastic that kind of looks like wood, and then greenish blue plastic that kind of looks like water, like foam. And then there's a little freaking light in it. Isn't that the best? So I have too much cool stuff to show it all because my set is kind of small. I should have it like on a stand or something, but I'll just leave it there for now. And then I got these, I keep getting more cool lights. So I'll give you the tour of the lights on the next one. Oh, and I sewed the wheels back onto my mouse because the little cheese ball dog got a hold of it and she chewed the wheels off, and she chewed one of the poor little mouse's arms off. But I had an extra set of wheels, but I don't have an extra arm. So the little mouse is just going to have one arm. But I was glad that I had the extra set of wheels. So then my little Cinderella mouse can hang out. How did I have it? There. Ah, it's falling. Don't fall. See, this is why I can't touch anything. This is why I have my no touch my set rule. And then you can't really see the Gabby Petito pumpkin. It's like way over there in the corner. Let's see if I, there, it's over here. That's the Gabby Petito pumpkin. All right. Well, it was so cute. What's this about Larry Ellison in Virginia? Okay, I don't remember Virginia talking about that. I must have ignored it too. I know. I think our eyes just kind of glaze over and we do that. Na 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 na. I'm not even kidding you. Because yeah, I read the book to myself, and then I read it out loud to you guys. And then I don't think it was until way later that it occurred to me to talk about it. And I was just like, I don't even want to. But the fact that it hadn't even occurred to me was kind of weird. But I was good and I challenged myself. But you know, I've hardly talked about it, hardly at all. I think today's maybe like the third time, the thing with the animals. Yeah. Yeah, but if you read on the bullet, it's nothing. It's a nothing burger. That's right. The writing on the bullets. We got the writing on Luigi's bullets. He was the first one to do it. Then we had the writing on Tyler's bullets. He wrote some crazy stuff. Like Luigi was cool because he had like the nice little tiny font and it was all perfect. And it was just like one word, you know, what was it, like deny, defer, delay. It was like 3D words with the what insurance companies do when you submit your insurance bills. Deny, defer, delay. That's not it. It's something else. Let me see. It drives me nuts when I can't remember stuff. Deny, delay, deflect. Was that it? Depose. Let's see. It was delay, deny, defend. A phrase detailing insurance company tactics to avoid paying claims, which was adapted to deny, defend, depose, and found on shell casings following the fatal shooting of Brian Thompson. Okay, so deny, defend, depose. And then, you know, Tyler Robinson got all crazy with writing all kinds of like weird sentences and did it with like a shaky hand and stuff. See what happens when I touch things? And then he texted his roommate about it, right? Because that's what you do, is you text your roommate about those things. And then Kash Patel took out a black Sharpie and wrote anti-ice on one of the casings of somebody who shot at ice, maybe. They wrote anti-ice on the casing with a black Sharpie. Somebody was bringing up the Matthew Livelsberger recently, the guy who blew up the Tesla stupid car. What do you call those things? Those dumb, what are those damn things called? The Elon Musk box car. Help me out, you guys. What are those stupid Tesla cars called? Tesla truck. Cybertruck. There you go. Cybertruck. So the Cybertruck that Matthew Livelsberger blew up in front of the Trump Tower in Vegas, New Year's, a year ago. So like a year and 4 months ago, a year and 3 months ago. Okay, but yeah, we'll wrap it up. Let's see. Larry Ellison owns all the news stations like CBS, etc. So yeah, why not 3 years later? Spot on. And Larry Ellison has the weirdest freaking plastic surgery face you've ever seen in your life. OMG. He looks like an evil character from Rocky and Bullwinkle, doesn't he? I love you and miss you too. Larry Ellison sucks. Missed you, JJ. Be loving the set. Love it. So cute. Thinking Luigi is innocent. I know. I mean, I don't know what to think of all that stuff, but yeah, I think it's all a psyop for sure. I mean, I think it's just bogus. And then the whole thing with like the fast food joint. So they arrested Luigi in the McDonald's, but then like they had the surveillance footage of Tyler Robinson in like a Dairy Queen or something. It's like you can't do the same thing. That shows us that it's the same people behind it. When you do the exact same thing, like the writing on the bullets and then the finding in the fast food place, like there's too many variables in the real world. You're not going to have like that's what profilers for the FBI look for with the serial unalivers, is they look for those types of patterns and then they know it's the same person, right? And yeah, I think that we do have a serial unaliver as our dear supreme leader. Our dear leader, I think, is a serial unaliver, in my opinion, for real. That's my opinion, and I'm allowed to have an opinion, right? Could be wrong. I think Luigi is innocent too. Both psyops for sure. I agree with you girls. All right. Well, now that we're all in agreement, we're all in a good place. It's a good time to sign off. Let's see if we have a puppy dog that wants to say hi. Come here, Mookie. Come here, baby. Mookie, come. Come here. No. Okay, then don't. I don't need you anyway. Come here, Mookie. Come on, baby. Come here, honey. Come on. If I only had a treat, if I could pretend that I had a treat. What's this? Come on. What is it, Coco? Come here. Come on. Come on, Coco. Come on. Come on, Coco. Nobody ever gets to see you. Come on up. Come on up, baby. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come here. Come on. There we go. We're going to have a Coco. Come on up. All the way up. There's Coco. She's so pretty. There's my baby. Mwah. It's so good to have the pets. They help so much. All right, you guys. Love to all. It's 7:00, so we still have a lot of night left to do other things. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to hit that like button on your way out if you haven't hit it already and you don't mind. And if you don't like, then hit the no like and tell me what's wrong. What can we do better the next time? All right. Thanks again. You guys are the bomb diggity.